It is officially government shutdown season. However, this year it's a little bit different because Donald Trump has walked away from negotiations with the Democrats because they have a whole bunch of demands that are basically non-starters. And of course, this makes Chuck Schumer very upset. And that's what we're going to see being discussed today over on The Morning Joe, with an added bonus of Joe Scarborough actually calling out Chuck Schumer on the popularity of Democrats. So before we get to the clips, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
We Democrats definitely want to avert a shutdown. We know how bad it is. And we're asking something very simple, Joe, for the president to sit down and talk with us. You know, he's not the king. He can't just dictate what happened. He said he doesn't need Democrats. Well, then he doesn't know how to count, because there are 60 votes in the Senate that you need to pass this, and he's got 53. And frankly, when I was majority leader for 4 years, the last 4, we didn't have a shutdown. Why? Because I sat down and talked with Republicans and we compromised. No one got everything they wanted. Donald Trump is the first president we're having a shutdown. As you saw, Hakeem, Jeffries, and I just made a simple, easy request. Sit down and talk to us. We can probably come to some agreements. There are a lot of people on his side who are upset about what's happening on some of the areas of health care, particularly the ACA, but others as well. Just sit and talk with us. So he did say yes. He didn't tell us, but, you know, his press person said yes. And then a day later, yesterday, he says no. And he has this rant about radical Democrats. Is it radical to want people not to have their premiums go up $400 a month, $5,000 a year? Is it radical to tell a mother whose child has cancer that you're not getting treatment anymore and you're going to watch your child die? No, it's not radical. And 68% of Americans think that this big bad bill was wrong on health care. And it's all the Democrats, 2/3 or 3/4 of the Republicans, but a third, of the independents, but a third of the Republicans. So all he's got to do is sit down and talk. It's such a simple request, and I think the American people understand that.
And Leader Schumer, you said as you sat down, you told me that you found out, like the rest of us, that the meeting was canceled yesterday when he posted on Truth Social. So we have about a week until the deadline. So what happens now? And obviously there are real world implications to any government shutdown.
Exactly.
There will be federal workers but there's also the political aspect of this and the risk of receiving blame.
Yeah, look, it's simple. Ask the Republicans. First, they control the show. They have the presidency, they have the Senate, they have the House. So they're in charge. So people are getting really upset with Donald Trump. And it's because of what he does. He rants. Yesterday he had a rant at the UN. He had a rant about why he wouldn't sit down with us. He doesn't deal with the issues. He's not being president. He's not up to the job. It's so, excuse me, it's so easy to just sit down and talk to us. And we know we're not going to get everything, but he's not even doing that. And the American people are going to say, WTF, why won't he do that? There's no good reason.
I don't know what that stands for, but let me ask you this question. Regarding approval ratings, I asked Secretary Clinton the same question. I'll ask you. Why is it that the Democrats' approval rating is so low? You talk about Donald Trump, but of course, Democrats' approval rating as a party even lower than his.
Yes.
Why is it, like, for instance, with Hillary Clinton? I think she won the counties bordering Mexico and Texas by 60+ percentage points.
Yeah.
In 2016, Donald Trump in 2024 won those outright.
Yeah. Well, I think, look, people are upset in general. They don't like the Democrats, they don't like the Republicans, and they don't like Trump even more than they don't like the Democrats. But here's what's really interesting, Joe.
But the polls don't show that, though. That's my question to you.
Well, his numbers have gotten much, much worse. Today, there's a Ipsos Washington Post poll that shows, I think he's lower than he's been by considerable amount. And it's going to keep getting lower as all of these, especially the high costs of living, he's helping cause.
So what do Democrats need to do? What went wrong?
Yep.
How did they lose some of their most loyal voters?
Right.
And what do they need to do to turn it around?
What we need to do to turn it around is show working families and everybody that we're on their side. And we are doing that, and we're going to continue to do that over the next several months. We have to keep hitting Trump, but we have to show we're on their side. And frankly, to win the elections, we have to recruit good candidates. I am optimistic about us actually taking back the Senate, much more now than before, because really fine candidates are stepping up to the plate. And one more point on all those polls. Even though Democrats' numbers are low, when you ask people, who do you prefer, a Democratic senator or a Republican senator? We did it in the 6 battleground states, which were +2, +3 overall, so it's not a Democratic or independent survey. 47-39, they prefer Democrat.
So apparently, according to Chuck U. Schumer, Donald Trump is being completely unreasonable, right? It's just a simple request. Sit down and talk. And yes, I do believe you should talk. You should negotiate. However, the Democrats have some truly unreasonable demands. As Donald Trump mentioned yesterday on his Truth Social posting, after reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical leaders of the Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open, I have decided that no meeting with the congressional leaders could be productive. And of course, what is he highlighting? They are threatening to shut down the government of the United States unless they can hand over $1 trillion in new spending to continue free health care for illegal aliens, force taxpayers to fund transgender surgeries for minors, and have dead people on the Medicaid rolls, allow illegal alien criminals to steal billions of dollars in taxpayer benefits, and try to force our country again to open our borders to criminals and to the world, allow men to play in women's sports, and essentially create transgender operations for everybody. And along with this, the Democrats also want $500 million to go to NPR, the place we basically just defunded because they're just a mouthpiece for the left and the Democrats. So to me, these sound like a bunch of issues that Donald Trump actually won his election on. But Chuck Schumer's over there saying, oh, our ideas aren't radical. Yeah, health care for illegal immigrants, transgender surgeries for minors. These sound pretty out there, Chuck Schumer. And this, of course, is why the Democrats are having a hard time actually getting support. And when pressed on this issue, why are the Democrats so unpopular? What does Chuck Schumer actually say? Oh, we're still more popular than Donald Trump. No, according to the Rasmussen Daily Tracking Poll, Donald Trump is ping-ponging between 48 and 52% approval. And if you look at the current conglomeration of polls, you actually have the U.S. Senate being maintained by the Republicans, right? You can see over here that the consensus forecast, which consists of Crystal Ball, the Cook Political Report, and Inside Elections, all of them have Republicans maintaining control in the Senate. Now, this, of course, was from August 15th, so that's about a month ago. However, Inside Elections just had a recent one with the exact same results. And not to mention, you still have Republicans being trusted on the major issues of the day.
Yeah, what are we seeing? You know, Donald Trump being underwater, Democrats saying, oh, this guarantees us we're going to fly high in the midterms. Let me tell you, this guarantees you nothing, because at this particular point, the Democrats are the New Orleans Saints of political parties. What are we talking about? Trust the Dems or GOP more on the economy? Who leads on the economy? Republicans by 7. Immigration, Republicans by 13. How about crime, a big issue for Donald Trump and the Republicans? Look at that, lead by 22 points. So the bottom line is this, at this particular point, the ball may be on the ground, but the Democrats have not picked up the ball and running with it. If anything, at this particular point, it's the Republicans who are running with the ball on the top issues, the economy, immigration, and crime.
So that basically, to me, sums this all up. These are the numbers from a recent Ipsos poll. And of course, the Democrats are shocked that, hey, guess what? Republicans still have the lead on the main issues of the day. Okay. But of course, Chuck Schumer is saying, oh, we have to actually take back power by convincing the American people, the working class families, that we're for them. How are you going to do that? What are your policies? Because I can guarantee you that giving health care to illegal immigrants and providing transgender surgeries for children is not going to win you their vote. However, Chuck Schumer is very optimistic about the new crop of candidates, right? We have good candidates coming up, right? If they're anything like Mamdani, if they're anything like the squad, the people who actually have power and momentum in the Democrat Party, then I have zero confidence that they're going to fly outside of their blue districts. And let's also not forget that the last time we had a shutdown looming, Chuck Schumer was the one who caved, because according to him, in his own words, when there is a shutdown, the president actually has powers to cut funding to certain organizations just to keep the government open. And Chuck Schumer definitely doesn't want Donald Trump to have that power. So guess what? That gives all leverage of negotiation to Donald Trump, as long as Donald Trump isn't afraid to shut down the actual government. And to me, I've never cared about that one single bit. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description, where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.